the intro got played too long. Oh, jeez. Intro again, it got played too early. Oh, man. We got a double intro tonight. Mainly because I hit the button too early. From WDWL TV's Multiplex, live from a Grumpy Studio, with great anticipation, we bring you the pride of this station. The grumpy old man. Oh, me. And, the grumpy disco vulture. Take your bow. A little cockeyed there. Try it again. Can't you get things right? Take a bow. Well, that was a little better. I don't know. What's your problem with your bows now? Too much disco? Back in your corner. God, one simple thing. You can't even do that. All right, look at the camera. Greetings, friends. Kathy's here. How's the mic sound? I'm using the other mic because just as I was getting set up, I broke the mount. So the other mic is sitting over in the corner, broken. So I had to resort to the backup mic. Luckily, I have mounts. Oh, God, do I have stuff to... But it was too late. I couldn't fix it. So I brought out the standby, which is, it's a wonderful mic. It don't have no color. I like them flashing lights. And I did a little swapping around. I don't know if I'm going to leave it this way or not. I've been working on computers all day today. Computer one, which I mentioned for some reason, I couldn't shrink the stuff on my screen. Where YouTube is usually about a screen like this. I had a screen like this. And I went into the settings and I tried shrinking. So I decided to uninstall the graphics card, which is in that computer, not this computer, and reinstall it. I get out the disk, I pop the disk in, I hit install, and it's running, and it's running, and it's running. It took an hour to install all the software and the drivers for that graphics card. I do a reboot. It's still So, I disassembled everything in the corner. I took the graphics card out. I had a new graphics card back in the cabinet. I put the new graphics card in, uninstalled all the software and drivers. The tablet is playing the intro. And I'm not even near it. Oh, the damn thing is freaking haunted. So I get the disc out for the new graphics card. $2 to install the software and the drivers for the new graphics card. Now, I'm fighting a deadline here because I've got shit everywhere. So I give it a quick test. It's still, so I said, screw it. I'll work on it tomorrow. I shut it down. I put the computer back in the corner. I put the new computer back up on top. I wired in the KVM switch. Put the riser on. Put the printer on the riser. Put the monitor for computer 3 back up. Fired up computer 1. Then I fired up computer 2. Now the KVM switch was set on computer 2. This one. I'm looking at the time. I'm like, oh, okay, 6:30. I got time. I click the KVM switch on computer 1, and voila! I have a small YouTube screen, like it should be. I was like, this ain't my luck. So I shut it down, and I started it back up. Voila! Evidently, everything's working. Fingers crossed, tomorrow when I start it back up, I'll be okay. So everything is all nice and neat in the corner now. I don't know about you. When I look at me on camera, it seems a lot more clear than with the other computer. Evidently, this gaming computer and this graphics card are A1, not to mention no warnings. I have yet to see a red box pop up. I've yet to see anything pop up. Fingers crossed. I think we're on the right track. Then, after the show last night, I started looking in, which I know I should, looking at different streaming software. I keep hearing Restream. Now, Kathy, I don't know if you follow Master Sergeant Retired. He just switched to Restream, and he said he loves it. He said it's easy to use. Now, here's a guy that basically, has been messing with different streaming programs probably longer than I am old. But so I'm going to, not on this computer. I don't know if I'm going to do it on computer 1 or computer 3. I'm going to test. First of all, I'm going to download Restream software and see if it's as easy as everybody says. Because I would like to bring up videos like everybody else. And I would like to, open a panel sometime and get guests. I can't do that with this. They say you can, but I don't know. I'm too goddamn old for this shit. But I would like to come in, into the new century and be able to stream like everybody else, especially with today's topic. I would love to put that up. I don't know if you've been watching the news about the girl that assaulted. There were 2 runners at the state track meet in Virginia, at Virginia High School. It's been all over the news. And, it's sad to see outright poor sportsmanship like this was. They're coming down the final turn. And the girl that was in position 3 is passing the girl in position 2. The girl in position 2 takes the baton, because it was a relay race, and whacked the fuck out of her on the back of the head. And she goes down, and then, the other one, the assaulter goes down. Now, multiple camera angles. Whack! Oh! Today and yesterday. Oh! And I don't understand. Everybody is rallying behind this girl because she said, I was starting to lose my balance and my arm went forward. No, your arm did not go forward. You took that goddamn aluminum baton and whacked her across the back of the head, giving her a concussion and possibly a damn skull fracture. And everybody is rallying behind her. And then, she's crying on the microphone. I'm not that type of person. I'm not violent. I would never do that. It was an accident. My arm just happened to come. You're denying what you're seeing from multiple camera angles? If your arms was coming forward is like this. Not. I thought I had something I could use like a baton. Here, we'll take the flashlight. If you're attempting to catch your balance, your arm is going this way. Forward. Not to the point where you're whacking the girl across the back of the head. It was obvious. You can see her outstretched arm, and here she is whacking the girl on the back of the head with the baton. And everyone is denying that. her parents, the NAACP, oh, because she's getting threats. Well, yeah. You're a shitty sportsman. They should ban her from any track meets now. That was clear, outright assault. She's going, my arm was coming forward. Watch the video. It's disgusting. And she's denying it. Her parents are denying it. I love when the church people get involved. The pastors come out. Oh, she is such a wonderful church person. She would never do anything like that. She doesn't have a bone in her body that basically is mean. Go back to your church, asshole. Yeah, I can't stand it when these black ministers right away got to get their nose in it. And then, did you watch the video? Evidently you didn't. It is 100% a whack on the back of the head. And I ran indoor track. And those batons, even though they're aluminum, they're thick aluminum. They got some weight to them. And when you're swinging like that, it wasn't a little dink. It was a full-born whack. And then to sit there and deny it and cry. Oh, it was an accident. Yeah. An accident. Her arm just happened to take a swing. She was catching her balance. I think they need to play all the multiple camera angles in church. And let's see that pastor go, oh, her arm isn't straight. It's in a swinging motion. Let us all pray. And nobody has reached out to apologize to the girl that got struck. And the parents are saying, well, what are we apologizing for? It was an accident. Well, whether deliberate or accident, that's sportsmanship. You immediately apologize and say, hey, and nobody from her family ran over to check the girl. I would ban her. If I was in charge of athletic sports, I would say, you're done for the season. You're out. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. But no. And then the NAACP gets involved and they're like, why are you threatening this poor girl? She didn't mean it. Yes, she did. She wanted to finish second, not third. And neither one of them placed in the race anyway. So, just absolutely disgusting. It would be interesting. Now, with them being 7, I don't know how Virginia's laws are. Is a 17-year-old an adult? Because if they consider a 17-year-old adult, there's a good possibility, if it goes to court, that it would be televised. I tend to think they'll do a behind-the-scenes plea deal just to hush it up and get it out of the public eye. But, yeah, they're saying, she shouldn't be charged with assault. Jesus Christ, she was using a weapon on top of it. Newman's here. We were just talking about disgusting, poor sportsmanship. And I don't know if you watch the American news over there, but it's about this girl at a high school track meet running in a relay race, and she was losing her position. She was being passed. She was number 2. She was being passed. She was going to be number 3, and she took her baton, and she whacked the fuck out of the girl in front of her, gave her a concoction, and possibly a skull fracture. And everybody is rallying behind the girl that smacked her, saying, it was an accident. If you watch the damn videos, because she said, I thought I was falling, so, my arms were coming forward so I could catch my balance. No, her arm was coming in a swinging motion, and she whacked the girl across the back of the head with the fucking baton. And then she's wondering why she's getting threats. Outright poor. They got multiple camera angles, and she's denying it. Saying, it was an accident. And then, I was telling Kathy, what pisses me off is right away the clergy have to get involved. Of course, they're both black, and you know how black clergymen are, They got to get their nose in everything. And then on top of it, the NAAPC's involved in it. Yeah, that's what I said. Gave her a concoction. She got a concoction right across the back of the head. Now, what I don't understand, the mother said they're waiting for the results of the x-rays. X-rays are usually developed right away, because they don't know if she's got a skull fracture or not, unless, it's so hairline that it's being examined by people with better eyes. Although, no, Matt, I'm sure the shit happens over there too. There's poor sportsmanship worldwide, but not saying, it only happens here. But it was an outright, deliberate, right across the back of the head with that aluminum baton. Gargle it. It's all over the news. Virginia High School, Virginia's state track meet. It's basically nationwide here. So if you gargle it, I'm sure you'll find a news story. I can't remember what ABC station it was. Channel 7, I think. Either way, I mean, and the one camera angle, the one that they're mainly showing, you see her arm come back and do a sideways whack across the back of the head. That's not your arms going forward. And I mean, she had the end of the baton, so there was a lot of baton to whack that girl on the head with. And then for people to rally around her, she deserves to, I'm sure the threats are getting nasty. But she's unapologetic. It was an accident. Whether you did it deliberately or it's an accident, good sportsmanship is, first of all, going over to the injured person and immediately, seeing if you could render aid and apologize and go, oh, I'm sorry. No! And to this day, she refuses to apologize because she feels she's in the right. And of course, they have the news stations come out and, somebody sets up goddamn PA system and the girl's crying on the microphone in front of, the gathering. Oh, I don't have a mean bone in my body. I don't know why everybody's so mad at me. Did you bother to look at the camera angles? Did you read the news story? Oh, parents are the worst. Oh, shit. I remember when my son was, he started out with what is a T-ball. And then they go, what's the next after T-ball? It's been so long. I remember the T-ball, whack. And parents, whatever it is after the T-ball, Little League, whatever they call it. The one game, the kid struck out. And his father come down. He was sitting up at the top of the stands. Come running down and grabbed the ref by the back of the collar and spun him around. He goes, "You're fucking blind. He didn't strike out." Oh. And then, of course, a big riot starts. I grab my kid and I said, "Time to go home. Come on, little grumpy, let's go." Parents are the worst. And then people wonder why kids are unsportsmanlike. They get it from their parents. Dad comes down and punches the fucking ref, and they're like, okay, I can do the same thing. Yeah. Kids' sports parents should be banned. They really should be banned. It's everywhere. I've seen it many times with, my kid in sports. And, if he struck out, I told him, I said, hey, shit happens. There'll be another at bat. It's not worth getting all upset over. And they're young, but I've seen some bad calls. Not once did I yell at a referee. Shit happens. It's sports. Now, if, it's bad call after bad call after bad call after bad call, clean your glasses, ref. But, hey, shit happens. And I taught my son, I said, hey, if a fight starts, go the other way. Don't join your team and go over and think you're going to get a punch in. Stay on the bench. And he did. Yeah, that's how you teach him, Kathy. You got to, you got to give kids encouragement. It's like, in some of these high school football games, when the score gets to be like 55 to 3, just give the other team a chance. Put your second string in, put your third string in. Let them get a score. They're not going to beat you. Jenny's here. We missed you last night. And we had a hell of a chat going. We had new faces in the chat last night. And we got another subscriber. We're up to 85 now. Yeah, we had people in the chat last night that have never been here before. It was invigorating for me. I was like, wow, look. And I got wound up. More wound up than I usually get. We were talking about the news story that has been all over the news with that Virginia high school track meet. I'm sure you've seen it. It's been all over the news with that relay race runner when she whacked the fuck out of the girl in front of her because she got passed. Well, that's okay. Mom's more important than Grumpy. No problem. You never have to explain yourself. If you're here, you're here. If you're not here, you're not here. But when you're not here, you're missed. Doesn't it feel nice to be missed by people? Especially Grumpy. We thought maybe you were playing trivia. Oh. That's okay. Moms are important. Oh, yeah, some of the storms. Holy shit. Somebody pissed off Mother Nature, I'll say that. And if it isn't bad enough, we got tornadoes and hail and rain. There's some wildfires going on. It's like, getting scary. Yeah, we had some nasty rain here earlier. Oh, they moved trivia so that you can watch the show and not miss trivia. That's pretty good. And most of the streamers schedule for 8 and 8:30, like Shiz. You know, she's usually, well, she'll say 8 o'clock, and then you're there at 8, and she's like, no, 8:15. And you come back at 8:15, she's like, no, 8:30. And then she finally starts. The other night was hilarious. Oh, my God. When she starts laughing, she's got one of them infectious laughs. I don't even remember what the damn subject of the stream was. All I know is it was constant laughter from start to finish. And then Scotto, oh my God. Especially when he imitates generally specific. He puts on that big beard. He's a trip. He really is. I'd like to know how they happened to how she happened to find him. One of these days I'm going to email him. I've got his email address. Like, how is it you and Shiz made a connection? Oh, okay. Yeah, isn't he, Nomad? I like when he puts on the beard, or he puts on that hat that looks like what the hell was it, Carmen Miranda, with the fruit in it. And not to mention, he's a hell of an IT guy from what I hear. I think he does that for a living. And I didn't realize that he's deaf. Not 100%, but he's hearing impaired. And the guy's amazing. He really is. I give him a lot of credit. Because a lot of time, hearing impaired people, they know that their speech isn't 100% and it embarrasses them, but Scotto's right on. He don't care. Not to mention, he does some terrific thumbnails. Because I know he does them for Jeff. Although Jeff is pretty good. I'm still trying to get on their stream. Just for a guest appearance. I think I just thought maybe he had a little bit of a speech impediment, And then Shiz one night she goes, my, how the hell she put it? My deaf gay friend, or the gayness we knew. That was known from the start, basically, but I didn't know he was hearing impaired. And he puts his gayness right out there. He don't care what anybody says. Give him credit for that too. Although, be different like back in my day. Holy shit, you said you were gay. You got ran out of town on a rail. Yeah, that was something back in my time where you not only stayed in the closet, you had 47 locks on the door too. Because it was severely frowned upon by society. Almost as bad as if a girl got pregnant. Next thing you know, she disappeared from town. Where is she? Well, she decided she wanted to become a nun. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, you got sent to a nunnery. You disappeared from town real fast. Gee, what happened to Susie? Was Susie decided she wanted to join a convent. Oh, really? Wow. I didn't even know she was Catholic. I felt sorry for the poor nuns. Oh, not another one. Oh, jeez. We're running out of room here. We need a bigger convent. Yeah. Yeah, that was yeah. Yeah, Jenny. Yeah. She went to Europe on a vacation. Really? I didn't know the family had that much money. Well, it was a last minute thing. Uncle Festus coughed up some bucks so we could send her on vacation. Don't expect any pictures, though. And if she did send any pictures, they were like just from the shoulders up. Here I am by the Eiffel Tower. I remember a girl from our neighborhood disappeared. And the excuse was she was an exchange student. She's up in Canada. Well, where's the girl that was supposed to come here? Well, at the last minute, she changed her mind. But Susie's up in Canada. As a matter of fact, she's in Quebec. So you won't really be able to talk to her unless you know French. Of course, there were no cell phones or no social media, so if you disappeared, oh well, not today. You're getting tracked everywhere. See, in a way, that's where I think social media goes too far. We don't need to know 100% of your life. And there's, oh, my buddy's daughter. Oh, my God. She is on 24/7. She goes to a restaurant. Oh, look what I ordered today. Click. Now I'm doing yogurt. Click. Now I'm at Macy's. Click. We don't need to know 100% of your life. But yet she just, I'm going to bed now. See my pillow? Click. And first thing in the morning, she wakes up. See, I was in bed. Look, it's all messed up. I slept all night. Click. I'm in the shower now. Click. I'm brushing my teeth now. Click. And then they wonder why these online stalkers. Well, Christ, when you got your life every day from morning to night, I rarely go on Facebook. Rarely. Now, mainly if I'm not going to have a stream for some unknown reason. Then I go on Facebook. No, nothing tonight, You take a look at my last Facebook post. It's got to be 2 weeks ago. Or our graduating class, we have a Facebook page. So I'll go in just to check, see if we lost any classmates. Well, matter of fact, one of the girls I went to school with, she runs the Facebook page for our class. Otherwise, I'd never find out the news about my classmates. Although the ones that really irritate the shit out of me. We've got a couple that have money. They're down in Florida, some exclusive, gated community. As a matter of fact, last summer. Now, the house that they've got is like $5-6 million. I can't remember if it was her birthday or her husband's birthday. No. It wasn't birthday. Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. She had a picture in front of her mansion. Her and her husband got matching Maserati convertibles. And there's a picture somebody took of the two cars, and then they're, she's leaning on the hood of one and he's leaning on the hood of the other, and the tops are down, I was like, why flaunt this shit? Now, she married this rich guy. A little behind the scenes story. Her name is Carol. Carol and Kenny were dating all through junior high and high school. So it was a no-brainer that they got engaged. And then they got married. Well, if you would have known Carol, she was a bitch with a capital B. She had him with a ring in his nose, yeah. She was always money hungry. He worked a full-time job and 2 part-time jobs. And she was never happy. Well, how come we're just living in a $20,000 house? Couldn't we get a $50,000 house? And Kenny's like, Jesus Christ, I'm never home, working my ass off. And she was just a nagger. Nobody could understand through junior high and high school how the hell he could put up with her. Because she was a nagging bitch back then. Well, unfortunately, yeah, you got it right, Jen. Yep, Jenny, you got it. Well, unfortunately, Kenny gave himself a dirt nap. Got to watch what we say. He couldn't put up with her anymore, and he gave himself a dirt nap. Well, after Carol mourned for about a week, she met this big bucks. The guy owns he's down in Florida. He's got a import-export business. And big bucks. Big bucks. So now, old Carol gets whatever she wants. Engagement ring was so fucking heavy that she's got a tripod with wheels on it to hold her hand up. To keep the ring, because otherwise her hand will drop. Yeah, a diamond's got to be about that big. And she's always posing with the lavish jewelry, So last year, Valentine's Day, his and hers Maseratis. They're about 170, 180,000 a piece. In front of her $5 million mansion. Needless to say, I don't check on Carol's Facebook posts too often. But yeah, she mourned for about maybe 10 days. And next thing you know, she was posting on Facebook, oh, look who I met. He took me to dinner at, some restaurant where a fucking toothpick is $50, let alone a meal. And then they got married like a month later. Now, I don't know if she's still the bitch. I'm sure she doesn't bitch with the bank account that he's got because she gets whatever she wants. And I feel sorry for poor Kenny because he worked, like I say, 3 goddamn jobs to try to make her happy. And then I didn't know he was into rope, if you catch my drift. Must have learned knot tying in Boy Scouts. I hope that's ingrained in her memory banks when she came home that day and pushed the garage door opener. And she would like, where's the ladder? He's not standing on a ladder. Why's he got a rope around his neck? Yeah. That's how he did it. She come home from work, hit that garage door opener, door went up. Wow. And she gave a cheap funeral and met Mr. Big Buck. Well, she had to go to Florida to mourn. I can't mourn in Ohio. I'm going to take a trip to Florida. And she met him on the beach. In fact, a beach for a bitch. I'm still wondering what he saw in her. But I don't know if she's happy. Money can't buy happiness. It can buy you materialistic things, but it can't buy happiness. Oh, they did. That's how do you think she went to Florida? With his life insurance money. Yeah, they ended up, that's how she went to Florida. She cashed that life insurance in and I'm taking a vacation. Oh, anybody that knew her and him, they were pissed. I know I was because Kenny worked down at the West Side Market at one of the stands. And I go down on Saturday to do my shopping, and him and I would sit and bullshit, between customers. And then one Saturday, I'm like, gee, where's Kenny? Didn't you hear? No. What? Really? Really? Garage door? Holy shit. And his father told me at the funeral. But they had the, because she was, poor mouth, crying poor mouth. Well, after she went to Florida, then they found out she got the life insurance money. I wonder how she explained that to Mr. Wonderful. Oh, my husband was testing out the tensile strength of rope. Okay, you're allowed. We just love having you pop in, and you'll be listening, so good luck in trivia. Is there ever any money involved? Do you like win a prize? Like a trip to Florida? Yeah, she went. I don't know how fast the insurance company paid out. Although a lot of insurance companies, all you need is that certificate from the coroner. They pay you. And then she was gone. Matter of fact, I think she signed the house over to his parents. She was like, she didn't want no memories of Kenny at all. Just his life insurance money. And then she has the nerve to go on Facebook and yeah. He busted his ass. And what kind of reward did he get? But, oh, yeah, she was... I don't know how many times in high school we were like, Kenny, dump her already. Oh, no. Nobody knows why he stayed with her. I couldn't stand her for 5 minutes, let alone all through junior high, high school, then get married. Trying to think how long they were married. I think 5 years. I think five years. He had enough. Unfortunately, he's probably happy. Because he doesn't have to listen to... She was like my neighbors. I told that last night. Why am I getting an echo? Why am I... All of a sudden I'm getting an echo. Is it echoing on... What the hell? All of a sudden, I'm getting a goddamn echo. I hope it isn't. Is it echoing on your end? All of a sudden, it just starts an echo. What the hell's going on? No echo out there. It's echoing in my ears. Let me turn this down. See if maybe it was up to... No, even turning it up. I'm turning it up. Let me turn this... Turn it down some. It's still... All of a sudden, it started to echo on my end. I'm glad it's not echoing on your end. Because my buddy is on Faceplant right now, watching. And if it echoes, I immediately get bitched at. You got that reverb going again. So long as it's not echoing out there, I'm good. I won't get that comment on Faceplant. Oh yeah, it'll be posted. Like when I was having problems over in Studio One. You got that reverb again. I don't know why. But I was talking, and all of a sudden, it just started echoing. And I didn't touch anything. And this is the new computer. What the hell's going on? Oh my God. Yeah. I can't understand what the hell's going on. It's just like somebody threw a switch right in the middle of a sentence. It just started to echo. Maybe it's this microphone. Although I got the headset turned down. Oh, God. I'm glad it's not on your end. Because it is really irritating when you've got an echo going, like what I'm listening to right now. Like I'm talking into the bottom of a garbage can. Oh, Jesus. I can't win. I just... Almost as bad as today with the damn graphics card on the old computer. I couldn't get this. When I hooked everything up, you know how basically when you're on YouTube, the screen is about like this. Mine was all... Matter of fact, the chat was only half because it was so big. And I'm like, oh, jeez. So I changed out the graphics card. I had a brand new one. I put the new one in. I uninstalled everything. It took 2 hours to install the software and the drivers for the new graphics card. I'm looking at that CD thing and it's running and running and running, and I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, what the hell is that? Hang on, let me... That's what I installed. An HD 6450 Radeon graphics card. Yeah, there's the old one. I'll show you. Everybody's like, what's a graphics card? That's a graphics card. It's even got a cooling fan. See, this is the one that's got the damn display port and then the DVI. I needed an HDMI. This is a Radeon too. I don't know what model number. It's definitely an older one. Yeah, more. Never a dull moment around here, no ad. Yeah, I put the disc in. It just ran forever. Although it cured the problem. So I don't know if it was the graphics card or whether it was the display port versus HDMI. I don't know. I know anytime I run something with a display port hookup, I never have much luck with it. I don't know. I'm not that tech savvy. What's the difference between... Now, I know, the VGA is the old style. And then from VGA, you went to DVI. And from DVI, we went to HDMI. And then from HDMI with a display port. Yeah, I always have some spares in the storeroom. And then with all my small form factor computers, I have these small form factor keyboards, the little ones. This one lights up. When you type, it's multicolored back and forth. Of course, right, Nomad? The guy that's the light freak has got to have a keyboard that has multiple patterns, adjustable with a push button. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, I'll show you the new keyboard. This, maybe not. This came with the new computer. Oh. Look at that. And it's got, like the old-fashioned typewriter, round keys. Yeah, it came with the new computer. And the new computer, the whole front is LEDs. And it has all different patterns. It's a gaming computer, I got lights. And it changes patterns constantly. It's like 356 different combinations of lights and patterns. I think it's cool. I love it. Although, I want the computer my buddy's grandson has got. Now, he's the one that has got the race simulator with the 3 computer screens. They're panoramic. And you sit in a race cockpit. You got a steering wheel and a shifter, and then he's got, it's like the inside of a car. The computer he's got is like 2 foot tall and about 10 inches wide, and both sides are clear plastic. And this thing has got probably eight fans inside of it to cool it. Not to mention, I've never seen this on a computer before. Liquid cooling. Outside of the computer is a radiator with a blower fan. And there's tubes that run from this radiator through a pump that circulate around the processor to keep it cool. All 8 of the fans inside the case have LEDs in them. And when it's running, it's just a big multicolor. But I've never seen a computer with a cooling unit. Although, I'll tell you what, now my buddy helps him out. But this kid saves every penny so he can buy those toys. But you ought to see the simulator. It looks like something that a NASCAR driver would use. It's amazing. The screens come all the way out to like here, like a cockpit of a plane. And he drives. When he shifts gears, you'd hear the engine sound. It takes up, I would say, God, it's got to take up, I'll say 8 foot by 10. It's got to be 8 by 10. Because you get into a cockpit. I don't know where he bought it. And I would hate to think what it cost. But Grandpa, I think they went 50-50. When the kid said, hey, Grandpa, I got $2,000 saved up, and then Grandpa got a cough up $2,000, but it's a hell of a setup. Oh, my God. And I've seen NASCAR simulators. This is damn close. It really is. Matter of fact, they might have bought it from the same company. I don't know. There's got to be $20,000 worth of stuff in that basement. Easy. Because he also has a green screen with a projector. And you can dial in what racetrack that you're at. And while you're driving, on the green screen is the grandstands. It is an amazing setup. And the kid won't let me play with it. I said, come on, let me... You might break something. Yeah, he wouldn't let me play in it. I left her all depressed that day. Come on, let me play with it. 1 lap. No. Half a lap? No. How about driving on pit road? No. Then my buddy's wife was like, fresh coffee's on. Okay. Upstairs I go. It is an amazing setup. Absolutely amazing. And he can change out the console because one, he'll set it up for NASCAR, and then Formula One, and everything changes. He has to take steering wheel off because it's a different steering wheel. And unbelievable setup. But that radiator, that cooling unit, just, yeah, it's got a radiator looks like a heater core out of a car. And it's got a big blower fan. And a pump that circulates through the computer back in, just like a car. I've never seen anything like that. He said, yeah, it's liquid cooling. I said, liquid cooling? Yeah. And he showed me the little pump. Looks like a small pump that you would use like to drain a swimming pool or something. You got a little motorized pump. Circulates the liquid through the radiator. I keep forgetting. I'm going to have to look it up and see what it costs. Because he told me it's right, there's a coil over the top of his processor to keep the processor cool. Because it requires a lot of energy to run that race program. But the kid works his ass off and saves every penny. Don't have a car. In the summer and the spring, he rides his bicycle. And then in winter, he takes the bus. He's got to be... How old is he? I think he's 16. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's 16. But he's been saying... This was his bucket list. And he started working a part-time job like at age 9, cutting grass and that. Saves every penny. That's why my buddy says, hey, I'll help you out. He didn't know what he was getting into. But I want that computer. When he upgrades, I want that computer. And then for Christmas, was it 2 years ago? I think 2 years ago, my buddy bought a laptop for him. An Alienware laptop, like $3,000. Of course, they say Alienware is number one in gaming laptops, or computers alone. But yeah, $3,000 for that laptop. I was like, can I be your adopted grandson? I need an Alienware laptop. But like I say, the kid, every penny, if he finds a penny on the street, he picks it up. That's going in the bank. Good kid. If he was my grandson and I had that kind of money, I'd do the same thing. Kids nowadays are not like that. They're like this Miss Baton. It was an accident. Yeah, you just didn't want to finish third. And that girl was coming on, boy. She was passing her because she was about 2 foot past her. And then Whack! And then, unfortunately, she did lose her balance and she was out of the race. So, good for her. You whack your you whack your opponent, and then you got a DNF when the race was over. Good. And now you're facing assault charges. Even better. If I was the prosecutor, I would not offer a plea. Let's take it to trial. And do it before a jury. Although, nowadays, half the goddamn juries, you can't trust them anyway, but they'll probably plea this one out to make it go away. That is some good coffee. I found these on eBay. Rev. No surrender. And believe me, there's no surrender. Have a cup of this first thing in the morning. If your eyes are half closed, you're awake. Yeah, I go on eBay, Keurig Direct. I get 24 of these for $13.99. And then I've got Green Mountain Dark Magic. I got 32 of these for $13.99. And let me see if I can come up with the other ones. I try different ones every month. Come on, let's see. Do I have I'm looking for a blue one. Watch, I probably used them all. Oh, here we go. These are all dark roast. These are caribou. Come on, Grumpy. Straighten it out. Hold it steady. Caribou Coffee Obsidian Blend. $13.99. Why go to the grocery store and get 12 for $16? And they're free shipping. So go on eBay and look up Keurig Direct. If you've got one of these pod machines. I've got the single. Makes 1 cup at a time. And they are not sponsoring me. But, they got a selection. Holy shit. All, you name it. Light roast, medium roast. I like dark roast. But I don't buy at the grocery store anymore. Too freaking expensive. And like I say, I'm getting 32 pods for $13.99, free shipping, UPS. So, if you happen to have a Keurig or a generic pod machine, go on eBay, Keurig Direct. The deals are unbelievable. And they've got Of course, McDonald's is into everything. They got their McCafe and French roast, dark roast, light roast, medium roast, and then the flavored coffees and tea, and the selection's unbelievable. All right, so much for my free advertising for Corrig Direct. But the way I go through them, plus every month I do 3 different coffees. I just go down. No, what did I have last month with the Green Mountain? I got Dark Magic last month. Oh, one called Black Diamond. It's a ultra dark roast. Oh, God, it's killer. But I like dark roast coffee. Let me see if I happen to have a... I think I drank them all. Yeah, I had 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock coffee. I had Italian espresso. Whoa! Good stuff. Matter of fact, I'm going to reorder. But like I say, I'm into the dark roast. But they have everything. I almost ordered, they had Kahlua. I was going to try it, and I was like, I don't think so. But I never knew there were so many damn coffees. Bolivian coffee, Hawaiian coffee, Colombian coffee, coffee from everywhere. And then I wonder why I can't sleep at night. Yeah, I'm sure all that caffeine don't help my insomnia too much. But it don't make any difference. I have, God, it's got to be, oh shit. I don't even know how many years, 40 years. I drink coffee all day. All day, right up until bedtime. Matter of fact, the one place I worked, I had a little coffee pot on my desk, made 4 cups. A little mini, like Mr. Coffee. My boss was like, Grumpy, you're pushing it. I'm like, hey, it's not bothering anybody. It's the corner of the desk. He was like, yeah, but every time you make a pot of coffee, everybody is like, coffee. The smell would be going through the office. I'll never forget the first time I used it. We had frickin' cubicles. And I made a pot of coffee. And he comes out of his office and he's like, I smell coffee. He didn't catch me that day. Then somebody ratted me out. They're like, you know that coffee? Grumpy's got one on his desk. He kept telling me, you know we have a lunchroom. Yeah. Well, make your coffee in there. No. Then I'd have to get up from my desk and walk to the lunchroom. I told him it's more efficient this way. I continue working and the pot's right there. He didn't buy that. He was like, I don't think so, Grumpy. It was worth a shot. Well, we still got 3 hanging in. Nobody on Faceplant. 3 on YouTube. Boy, last night we had what? 6, 7 in the chat? That was unreal last night. Although none of the new faces came in today. They must have popped in and went, oh, geez. Once is good enough. See ya. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to have to run last night's show because I didn't write down who the new faces were. Although I can go into my YouTube and it'll tell me. But it was cool seeing new faces last night. But yeah, I think we had 7. I think we had 7 in the chat last night. Which was the most we've ever had. Oh, wait a minute. You know, Glock isn't here tonight. Peace Dynamo's not here tonight. Mears isn't here tonight. Oh, my Land Down Under isn't here. Although it's the weekend. Oh, really? Oh, well. There's always tomorrow. Are you guys playing for, like, money? Is there, like, a bonus? Or just for fun? Like a little money in your Venmo or your Cash App? Although in some states that would be like online betting. Although with all the online betting, I think some of the states have kind of loosened their rules now. Just for fun. Okay. Now, do you have like a category or multiple categories? Is it like Jeopardy? Or did they come up like, say, okay, tonight is 50s music or something like that? I could get into that if it was something like that. Although then I'd have to do a Discord. I don't need no accounts. That's like after Shiz does her show. She's like, oh, I'm going to be in Discord. You guys can join me. And I'm like, I have enough problem. Oh, that's the way they do it. Okay. What are the questions, though? Do they do like 50s music or history or starting to sound interesting? something that maybe I couldn't. I got a stream to run. I can't be playing trivia. They must come up with some pretty tricky questions. What do you have, like a moderator? How does it work? You have two teams or four? How? This is starting to sound interesting. I guess maybe I'm going to have to look into it. Because I could always put Discord up on the computer over here and watch how you guys play while I'm doing a stream. I might have to look into that because I've got this computer over here. That's my Eagle computer. So I could put Discord up and watch what's going on and then give an answer. Yeah, I could see the question come up and go, Jenny, it's 1950s music. Yeah, they verified it today. That one chicklet is definitely bye-bye. I'm just wondering how long that dead chick is going to sit in that nest before mom cleans the nest. Because as of this morning, she's still sitting on all three, even though that one is... I just wonder how long before she goes, oh, this one don't smell too good. Oh, really? Wow. 4 a.m? Holy shit. That would be good for me with my insomnia. I'm awake. Yeah, I guess that's going to be my question in the chat tomorrow out at Big Bear. How long will the chick stay in the nest before mom finally decides it's not eating anymore or breathing or moving around? But as of this morning, she was still sitting on all three of them. But boy, the damn cold weather, I think that's what, I think they won't, everybody's speculating. But I seem to think that one got exposure to those really cold temperatures. And it probably was the last one to hatch because, it really isn't that strong and doesn't really have a good immune system. But it was sad. Especially, after last year, neither of the eggs hatched. And then this year, 3, which is rare. And then all 3 hatched on top of it. But that poor little one wasn't around, a week? It's sad. I really got into the Eagles this year. But the ones in Florida, any day, man, they're out on the limbs, flapping them wings. I hope they catch it on camera. Although the cameras run 24 hours a day. But I would love to see the first flight because them two boys are like today. They were going limb to limb to limb to limb to limb. They're getting brave. Take off from this limb and fly over to that one and fly back down. It was cool to watch. I was waiting for one to go, okay, time to leave the nest. Questions are all over the place. Silly TV series. Name of heart doctor. That one's kind of unfair. Heart doctors. Were they talking like transplant doctors? Or who's the doctor that did the first transplant? God, I'm trying to think of the name. I come across it the other day. The first patient to get put on an artificial heart. The guy's first name was Barney. The patient. I can't remember the doctor now. But yeah, I remember back, God, I remember it made national news. And the artificial heart was like the size of a Volkswagen. The guy was all hooked up to tubes, and I think he only made it like 2 months, and then now they got them LVADs, left ventricle assist device. They implant this thing, and then you walk around with a box. It's amazing the technology in medicine. But those are people that are waiting for a heart transplant. It's kind of the last resort. They call it an LVAD, left ventricle assist device. Kind of interesting, but I wouldn't want to be walking around with one of them. Never a dull moment. But we go all over the place. Let's see. Name a heart doctor. Stuff with the moon. Movies. Oh, no specific. So they can throw anything out. That's kind of unfair. They should do a category. But to ask you a question about the moon and then about a heart doctor and whoever's running that. Hey, look who, hey, Neckbeard's here. How you doing, buddy? I was just saying we're missing some people tonight. How you been? We haven't seen you. Things going all right? I'm starting to sound like Kaiser. But there aren't too many people like me that do a good interaction with my chat. I love it. Especially when Kathy pulled that shit on me. Oh, how about this bakery? How about this place? I'm like, you gotta be kidding. I'll tell you what, that still amazes me, Kathy. It still amazes me. The vastness of the internet, and you and I could have possibly been in the same place at the same time. And then you end up in my chat. Unbelievable. Well, I like checking on see how things are going, buddy. I kind of, I feel a personal attachment to everybody. Although, like I say, the possibility of me and Kathy being in the same bakery at the same time is mind-blowing. She could have been standing at the counter in front of me. I could have been like, come on, lady, make up your mind. Order something, will you? That would have been me. Standing there going, oh, gee, she can't make up her mind between French crullers and cream sticks. Take them both. That would have been me. If somebody did that, that was me. If you were in the bakery and you couldn't make up your mind between French crullers and cream sticks, and you heard somebody in the back go, take them both, damn it. That was Grumpy. Or it would have been like, take them both, lady. Oh, all right. Oh, God, what do you got in that purse? Jesus. That would have been more like it. What, do you got a brick in that purse? Jesus Christ, lady, you fractured my skull. Or get hit with a French cruller. I'll take some of them. Neckbeard's over here rolling on the floor. Yeah, if you missed it the other night, it was a shocker. Because Kathy mentioned every place I went to in Bedford. And she knew them all, like Kaiser Meats and St. John's Funeral Home, and Reardon's Bakery. You keep with them clutch, those kolaches, yeah. And then she teases me like, oh, I'm going to make baklava, or I'm going to make this, knowing that I'm too goddamn far away to get a free sample. Because I'd be at the side door going, I'm here. Baklava, please. Piece about that big. She'd go, no, you get a piece about this big. The shit's expensive. That's an art to making that. I've watched it. That phyllo dough, like tissue paper. You got to be real careful with it. There we go. And then you got to keep it damp. put that towel over it. Because if it dries out, it breaks. See, I know about phyllo dough. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I'm going to call the Greek bakery and find out when they're making spinach pies. And then I'm going to reserve some. Because you got to call an order. There's no walking in the door and going, oh, I'll have some. No. They very rarely, the only time they've got them in the case is if somebody didn't pick up their order. And they tell you, like if I call an order, you have to have them picked up by 3 p.m. Because after 3 p.m., they're going out in the case. Okay. Walk in at 2:59. I'm here. Yeah, I'm gonna call tomorrow and find out when they make them, because they only make them 1 day a week. And maybe I'll call the Hungarian bakery and find out when they're making pogačas. You know what those are, Kathy? Pogač? Maybe I stumped her here. Yeah, they're Hungarian pogačas. You don't know what pogačas are? Oh, I stumped you. They're breakfast biscuits. And they're made with cracklings. You know what cracklings are, don't you? Dum 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 bum bum. Okay. What are cracklings? Okay, so you know what cracklings are. Well, these biscuits, the simplified version. It's like a Bisquick biscuit with the cracklings. And they're layered. You know, like those Pillsbury biscuits that got all the layers. You take them in. That's what a pogač is like. But they're nice and fluffy, and they're made with the cracklings. It's a Hungarian breakfast biscuit. They ain't cheap. I'm trying to think. The last time I got them was like 6 for $12, 6 for 14. They're not cheap. But oh, are they good? Oh, God. Have a crackling in one hand and a smoky in the other. And Grumpy's got a meal. The only problem is the damn Hungarian bakery is down by the West Side Market. The Greek bakery is like 6 blocks away. And the traffic down in the old neighborhood sucks. Not so much the traffic, but none of them stores and bakeries in the old neighborhood have parking. And trying to find a parking space on the street is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Matter of fact, the last time I ordered pogačas, when I went down to pick them up, I double parked. And I ran in and I ran back out before the cops wrote me a ticket. Although what I would have done was said, well, officer, I'll give you a pogotch if you don't write that ticket. And hopefully he knew what a pogotch was and said, okay, move along. If you stay here any longer, it's going to cost you $2. I'm going. Yeah, my grandmother used to make them. Now, my grandmother would render down her own lard, too. So, and then when she'd make the pogotch, she'd make them with lard. Talk about the best of both worlds. Bacon and bacon and bacon. Yeah, she used to, oh my God, the stuff she would bake. And, you know, the Hungarian bakery, they're good. But nobody ever makes them like Grandma used to make them. You know, they just had that certain, and my grandmother never, I'll never forget, she used to make garlic dills in a crock. And I asked her, I says, what's the recipe? Well, a teacup of this and a pinch of that and a fistful of this. You don't have measurements? Teaspoon? No. A pinch of this, a fistful, a teacup. Who has a teacup? Now, she had a teacup. I don't have teacups. I got coffee cups. And then when she'd make the brine, she'd put the pickling spice in, handful of pickling spice. And then vinegar by eye. What do you mean vinegar by eye? Well, taste a little. Yeah. I could never, even working next to her, trying to write it down. So one day, I brought out, teaspoons and measuring cups. Take that fistful and put it in. Okay, it's more than a third. Okay. But not much more than a third. I mean, the pickles turned out wonderful. And then I asked her, how much garlic? Well, how garlicky do you like them? Well, I like them garlicky. Then put a lot of garlic in. Oh, Grandma, you're driving me insane. And then she would take, now, you would line the bottom of the crock with dill. And then you would take the pickles and you would cut the end off and put one slit in the side. And you put the pickle in the... Then, when you got all the pickles in, another layer of fresh dill, and then several pieces of stale rye bread on top. Then you'd pour in the brine, about half filled, and then you would put a plate the size of the crock on top of all this and then a quart mason jar filled with water to weight it down. Then you took the crock and you put it in a warm attic for 5 to 7 days. Didn't touch it. You went on the 5th day and you tasted the brine. If it wasn't briny enough, you left them 2 more days. Then, at the end of you never went over 7 though. The 7th day, you bring the crock in the house, and you take it apart, and you gently make sure you scoop all that wet rye bread out. And then you put the pickles in a jar, put some of the dill in, and pour the pickle juice in. And put them in the fridge. Now, my grandfather, whatever brine was left over, he would put it in a jar. And every morning, he would take a slug of it and put it back in the fridge. I like garlic dills, but taking a big healthy slug of pickle juice first thing in the morning, I kind of draw the line there. But he did. And then when the pickles were done, he'd drink the pickle juice. He swore it kept him healthy. But yeah, he'd wake up in the morning, trundle out in the kitchen, open the fridge. Then he'd make his coffee. And the way he made coffee, he had one of those old enamel coffee pots like you see the cowboys in the movies. He'd fill it with water and take the coffee grounds. A big healthy tablespoon per cup. And boil it. And then when the coffee was done, he put a strainer over the cup and poured the coffee out to catch the grounds. But yeah, that was his coffee. As much as I liked the coffee, I didn't make it that way. But yeah, he just worked for him. Oh, memories. Good memories, though. Good memories. And they were good pickles, too. I made them. I finally kind of mastered the art. And then some asshole stole my crock. And that crock was about 50 years old. And I could never find another one. That ruined my pickle making days. Uh-oh. I don't know if we're going to have outro music. It ain't looking good. I don't think I got enough juice here. I only got 12% battery. We're going to try. See if I can squeak out enough battery to do an outro tonight. We're going to have to make it quick. 12% battery. Yay. We know where. Right here. WDWL TV, 7 p.m. And I thank everybody for being here tonight. I always enjoy acting with my chat. And we will definitely meet again right here tomorrow night. And with that, folks, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the country, in the world. And we will meet again tomorrow. See ya.